Howdy team, we're back for Excel Domain 3, creating tables, but we're going to focus this time on the subdomain 3_2, managing table styles and options. The first component we need to work with is applying styles to tables. You have to make sure that you have your Excel into a table. So let's start with that. We open our data here. We happen to be on a budget. And we're going to highlight cell A2 down to cell E17. Right now, we have just an Excel spreadsheet. We're going to come to the Insert tab, and then on Insert, we're going to click Table. This asks us in a pop-up dialog box, do we want to create a table with data from cell A2 all the way down to cell E17. And the dollar signs are absolute cell references. We will talk more about that. It's saying, yes, my table has headers. We check that box right there. So the headers of remaining, encumbered, spent, adjusted budget, and description will stay with our table. We click OK, and now we have a table. Notice too, our table's kind of, I'm going to click off for a second. Our table is blue and white with banded rows. Once I click in the table, we get a design tab, and here's our banded rows. We can unclick that, and then our data is all white, but we have the little blue header if we want. If we keep banded rows, it separates our data just by alternating color on, color off, and that can be helpful just for locating information in your table. Now, we were asked, if you'll remember, to find apply styles to tables. So when we do that, we have to click in the table. And again, we want the interactive table, not just a spreadsheet. We're going to come over here to Table Styles on the Design tab. And here's our pull down menu. We have a light group, a medium group, and a dark group. Let's click the dark brown table style, dark 3. Do notice you're given either a light, a medium, or dark in your table style name. If you're asked to do that, look at those first, and then when you hold your mouse over, it will name the table itself. As you can see, brown table style, dark 3. And notice 1, 2, 3. This is dark 3, just like this is medium 3, and this is light 3. They are not all orange. Okay, we're going to go with dark 3. We click that, and then our table's good to go. So we have changed our table style to dark 3. All right, well done. Subdomain 322 is to configure table styles and options. We were over here in table styles earlier, and we got ourselves the dark 3, brown dark 3 table style. And now I want you to notice a little bit about header row. If we undo our header row, it's kind of hard to see right now. We probably need to make sure that our font is more readable on those. Let's go back into those table styles and see if making our font white on that background wouldn't look a little bit better there. Okay. So back on design again, we can have our header row or we can not have our header row. We can add a total row, which comes down here below and gives us these options. I'm going to change this font to white as well so we can see that just a little bit easier. So back in design, on the total row, we have these options with a pull down menu right here. We can have an average of our remaining cost. We can have a count. It just counts how many, 15. We can have a summation. Our totals, $113,473.74. So being able to have that total row gives you some power there in that column. First column. If we click first column, it just bolds it and we know what's there. That's kind of an interesting difference. That might make it more readable. Let's see what happens when we click last column. It bolds last column and makes that more important. Banded columns. Let's undo banded rows for a minute so you know what everything looks like. So we just have our normal orange color here. And then if we click back in the table and we click banded columns, now we have a dark, light, dark, light, dark on our columns. But do notice when you're creating things that sometimes those color font choices aren't the best. Filter button gives you the choice to toggle those pull down menus for filter and sorting on or off. The power of a table is to filter and sort, so I would think you wouldn't want to undo that filter button. But that's going over the table style options panel. We are now on subdomain 323, insert a total row. I think I've already done this 4 or 5 times. There are several different ways to do it. One way is to click into the table itself and then go to the table style options and click total row. And that's a great way to do it. I talked about multiple ways of adding a total row, but what I meant was the multiple capabilities. Look at column B, for example. In column B, I can click underneath that adjusted budget and I can come right here to this pull down menu and go, okay, we've adjusted our budget a lot, but what's our average adjustment? Well, our average adjustment's $40,000. That's a huge adjustment period. We've encumbered a lot. We have a total here, but we could also do the pull down menu and look at the sum this way, or 97,000, or we can look at the minimum value encumbered, which is 0, because you can see these 4 rows and these down here too have no values. So we've pretty much covered the design tab in table tools, table styles, and inserting your Excel data and making it an interactive table. I think having tables in your Excel can really be a powerful thing. Don't forget, do your best.